Good Sunday morning, everyone, and welcome to the Moose Minute Project. Yeah, we'll go from there. Been a long few days for all of us. Got to see Colin, got to see Sherry, they got to see Mom. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess I'm gonna look at it. Mom joined her daddy last night at about 8:30. But it's all good. It really is. So that's where I say so many things to say. But my whole family will need prayers right now. But she's at home with her dad. And that's where she needs to be. And it's a good thing. So that's what I've got today. All of you that have been there to support our family, thank you so much. I waited till this morning because I drove home last night. I couldn't sleep. For those of you that have gone through this, I'm sure you know. But that's part of it. And if you know me, I'm kind of a bullheaded, stubborn, but yet loving, and I know where I got that from. Bullheaded. I don't think I had a choice from either parent. Both of them are that way, I think. Loving, they're both that way too. Truly lucky. And thank you all again. I'm going to continue this project, but it'll be in memory instead. So you'll hear more from me, but I just wanted to update because I told everybody I would. And it's time to move on. It's been since September of 2020 when Mom got tested the first time. And that's where we're at. So she passed last night at 8:30. Peaceful. Literally, it was a crazy story. I think those kind of things will get me through all of this. But similar to Roxanne's mom when she passed, I'd been up there since, well, we went up Thursday, and I was there Friday and yesterday. So we were there 3 days. But I feel it's pretty wild how things go. I've never been real part of, seeing my aunt and a few others go through the stages. It's a little different. But I've never been there, as far as presents go. Even when my brother Jim passed, I wasn't with, there. I was fortunate that my brother Colin and Sherry got to spend one time with Mom, and so did I. And it just happened to be the evening because I was staying in Hudson anyway. And yesterday was weird at Comfort of Homes. The girls take such good care. The young girls took her in as a grandma, and it was pretty easy to do if you knew my mom. And she took them in. But it was really weird. The three amigos, as I call them, my mom and the two other ladies that I bet put on 300 miles in Comfort of Homes, walking the hallways together. The other two ladies that are part of that group were off the rockers yesterday. I mean, the train was totally off the rails with them yesterday. It was just weird. I don't know how else to describe it except they were always, and the one lady especially came into the room a couple of times, and about an hour before she came in, she didn't have much to say. She just walked in and said something, and I couldn't make sense even what she said. And I'm like, oh, really? And she looked over and saw Mom, and she said, never mind, I gotta go. And she left. But they were out in the hallway, and I there was a big ruckus with the two ladies because they've been, just like I said, they were off their rails, and all the nurses were, and all the assistants there last night were hands tied, and they were fit to be tied, as my mom would have said. Um, and I looked outside, and I turned back, and she was gone. Um, it was crazy. I literally spun around to see what was going out in the hallway because it was a ruckus, and turned back around, and Mom was gone. And it was peaceful. Hospice did a phenomenal job. St. Croix Hospice did a phenomenal job with her, and but she's at home with her dad, and with so many of her friends that she's lost over time. So she's at home with them. But yeah, yesterday it was crazy. I laughed, I joked. I think I made a joke at one time because hospice kept saying, "Hey, is there something that she may be holding on to, or she may be waiting?" And I kind of texted Roxanne once because everybody that I knew of had said their goodbyes, and except her sister, and Diana got a hold of me, and I got a hold of her, and she said goodbye to Mom yesterday afternoon, and I just couldn't think of anybody else, and and I made a joke with Roxanne. I texted her. I said, I think what might be holding this up a little bit is Jesus is having a safety meeting. And that's where that came from, and that's kind of where my humor is with it, was trying to handle all of it. I was pretty sure Jesus was having a safety meeting before he brought her home. And it's going to be a rough one. But we'll get through it. And like I said yesterday, the sirens are going off, the whistles, the bells, the alarms. People were just, all the big oak furniture. The two little ladies were pushing that oak table weighs a ton. Mom's moved it a few times on her own too, but it was just nonstop at that place yesterday. And one lady kept coming in and going out, and it's a facility that I cannot thank the people that work there, because there's no way I could. There's just no way. It's not only going to see your loved one, it's dealing with the others that are, in the condition of their every day is different. And you should be on board with their days, in their mind. You should know exactly what they're doing. The workers up there say it best. If they're dressed that day and they stay dressed all day, it's a win. And I have to admit, after seeing them, it's a win. It's one of those things. Yeah. So she is gone. But I'm at peace knowing she's happy. But we'll have details later after they all get worked out. There will be a service at some point. Not sure when. Got a lot going on. A lot of points from all over to figure it out. But yeah, it's been a long night. Drove back from Hudson. I left Hudson about 1 o'clock. Got here at 4:30. Only had one flashing cop at me, so that was good. But I was only, I think, one over. So I was at 81 on the way home, something like that. But it's a great time to drive the interstate compared to the normal times. I know that. There's no traffic around except for semi-drivers and the other cars that are on the road. They're pretty well behaved, because I have a feeling they were either sipping cocktails the way they were driving, or else watching their cell phones or something. But got around all them. So,
Yeah, had one Toma officer flash his lights at me right as I was taking the exit. But for everybody that watches the Moose Minute Project, I will continue it. But instead of honor, it'll be in memory of the greatest woman ever that I knew. So, with that said, thank you for all the messages. My family truly appreciates it, and we'll go from there. But love you all, and have a great day.